Hello, hello, hello. I'm in a different place, in a different time zone, but I'm still trying to stay true to my commitment. Happy Saturday, happy Sabbath. Yeah, it is, March 18th. So, y'all, I'm totally in a different scenario. Grateful that you're coming in. I'm here because I said I was going to do this and I'm going to keep my commitment, though I have nothing that I have. I'm just making this work here, okay? So, y'all have to bear with me on tonight, all right? But we're celebrating Women's History Month. This is day 18. This is Saturday. And I am Dr. Jayla Ray, your heart coach, your all the things. And I look forward, your strategist, your all the things, all the things that you need. And I look forward to walking with you as you make divine pivots to walk on your divine path. So, with that being said, you see the title today. I'm grateful for everyone that's been supporting this journey since day one. And we are on day 18 and we have to May 31. So, this is the She is Powerful March Challenge. So, today, just coming from the God's Girls with Gifts event with Chief Apostle Dr. Sybil Sloan and some beautiful, 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 beautiful souls, some wonderful women. We had such an amazing time. And my lesson plan, that's what I call what I do each night. Of course, I never do it till right before I'm coming live. So tonight, as I was driving back from the church to the hotel, I was like, okay, so tonight I'm going to celebrate women who are healing. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know where you're tuning in from. So we're celebrating women who are healing. But before we do that, I do have some facts. And because I'm not in my regular place, I had to write my facts down on the phone. So I'm going to pull my phone up and read the facts to you. And basically, you'll see that in the title, it was talking about women and PTSD and how women are 2 to 3 times more to have more rates to have PTSD than men. And this came from a PTSD study from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, the National Center of PTSD. Welcome in for those that are coming in. I'm using a totally different device, so I can't really maneuver like I normally maneuver, but I appreciate you coming in because I'm staying true to my word, and we're going to move forward. But this that I wanted to read, which was very interesting to me, it says women experiences of trauma have been linked to a variety of negative mental health consequences, including especially PTSD. Estimates from community studies suggest that women experience PTSD at 2 to 3 times the rate that men do. U.S. prevalence estimates of lifetime PTSD from the National Comorbidity Survey replication are 9.7% for women and 3.6% for men. So this study just simply talks about PTSD from the lens of comparing genders, male and female. So it shows that women have that more. And it goes on to say that this happens more for women. It says findings generally indicate that PTSD is experienced similarly more for women and men. For example, a recent study found that women experience PTSD because of sexual traumas. So more women get sexual traumas, and sexual traumas normally lead to more PTSD. So I wanted to bring up that fact, and I wanted to celebrate women that are healing. Women are healing. Women are healing. All of us are healing. If you're a woman, then you're healing. You've gone through healing. You're going through healing. It's always a space for us to heal. So I wanted to celebrate women that are healing, the healing woman on tonight, since we're celebrating Women's History Month. Now, there's several ways that we can heal. And I just pray that all of us continue to heal. And, I'm always going to share a little bit about me. I'm a whole grown woman, a whole grown businesswoman, and I'm a whole grown woman healing. Hello. I'm a whole grown woman healing out here, just like many of you. And we're celebrating and honoring and saluting because healing is a process. Healing takes work. Healing takes inner work. Healing is real. And yes, I am a woman healing. So a little bit about me, more in my healing space. I've healed through a lot of things physically, mentally, spiritually, and tons of trauma. And we could go deep into trauma, but we're not. However, everybody has a space of healing. So if you have a woman in your life, please celebrate and support the woman, because we're always on a healing journey. Stay non-judgmental in the space where you're celebrating and honoring and supporting the woman on her healing journey, and just let women go through the process. This statistic that I shared earlier shows us that women have more PTSD than men for a couple of reasons, but more so because they experience more sexual abuse than men, which in turn leads to more PTSD. But women are suffering now and healing that haven't had any sexual trauma. They've had other traumas in their life. So I want to celebrate, honor, salute the women. Keep on your healing journey. It's not an easy journey. It can be painful. It can be hurtful. It can be stifling, and all the things. So that's what I wanted to lift up, because I'm not in my space to really go deeper. I know that's something that I could lift up because we just came from an event where we had a lot of healing in place. Now I'm going to go to my quotes because I found some quotes. I got them on my phone, so you're going to see me reading from my phone. But the first quote as we end tonight, and I'm going to do three. It says, "One of the hardest things was learning I was worthy. I was worth recovering." That's by Demi Lovato. Again, it says, "One of the hardest things was learning I was worth recovery." How? Do you feel that you're worth recovery? Women. Do you have women in your life that can be encouraged to know that they're worthy of recovering, to recover from traumas, from hurt? Do you know that you are worthy of that? That's what that quote is talking about. One of the hardest things was learning I was worth recovery, because it's a fight. And you have to first realize that you're worth that fight. You're worth that work. You're worth that push. You're worth all of the energy that you have to put into healing. The next quote says, "There are wounds that never show on the body that are deeper and more hurtful than anything that bleeds." That's by Laurel K. Hamilton. I'm going to read that again. "There are wounds that never show on the body that are deeper and more hurtful than anything that bleeds." Think about that. I know that we've all experienced it. I have several stories I can share where the hurt has been so deep, yet there was no physical wound. There was no physical scarring. There was no physical bleeding, yet you felt like you were breaking apart on the inside. You felt literally like your heart was breaking. This quote speaks to that. There are wounds that never show on the body that are deeper and more hurtful than anything that bleeds. So women carrying that hurt, it ends up going into the PTSD, the post-traumatic stress disorder. Those hurts hurt deep, and they take work to be healed from the inside out. Think about that. We want to heal from the inside out. Any wound or any sore that you physically have, if you ever had to go to the doctor and had to go through the healing process of that wound, they always say, think about even when you have surgery. They always talk about the wound has to heal from where? The inside out. Because if you cover a wound and it heals from the outside in, you're susceptible to more infection. My God, you're susceptible to more infection. So wounds have to heal from the inside out. So when we're talking about our lives and trauma and healing from those traumas and PTSD and all those things, we have to heal from the inside out. Those wounds that don't bleed, those wounds that we cannot see with our physical eyes, those wounds that we're carrying that no one really knows we're carrying, because we carry the smile, right? We carry a kindness and a respect, and no one knows that you're hurting. You're suffering in silence. So we have to heal those things from the inside out. Welcome into those that are coming in. I appreciate it. That's the second quote. And the last one for tonight, as we get ready to close, is by Ebony Davis. That's Ebonee Davis. It says, people are afraid to heal because their entire identity is centered around the trauma they've experienced. They have no idea who they are outside of trauma, and that unknown is terrifying. Listen to that quote again. People are afraid to heal because their entire identity is centered around the trauma they've experienced. They have no idea who they are outside of trauma, and that unknown is terrifying. That quote is by Ebony Davis. Grace and peace, Chief Apostle Dr. Sybil Sloan. I was sharing before you came on and before I got to these quotes that my quote unquote lesson plan that I use to do these lives every day, I normally don't do it to right before I hit live. And because we just came from such a powerful event with God's Girls with Gifts, where we were talking about trauma and we were talking about healing, this was on my heart to honor and salute women who are healing, which I believe is everyone. All women are in a phase of healing. So I wanted to lift it up. But let me break down this last quote again. People are afraid to heal because their entire identity is centered around the trauma they've experienced, which means they don't truly even know who they are. I've been there. Have you been there? I know I had tons of trauma that had me not knowing my identity. My identity was wrapped around my trauma. My identity created a monster that was moving in flesh, that was trying to hurt people before they could continue to hurt me. So yeah, I couldn't heal because I was wrapped around my trauma. My identity was wrapped around my trauma. But it says they have no idea who they are outside of the trauma. That is so true. And that unknown is terrifying. So it's like breaking out of the comfort zone of all of the drama and the trauma and just filling in that space for survival and really healing through, processing through all of that to become your true self, to walk in your true identity. And can I tell you that in all healing, from my experience and my opinion, it's hard to do it without being grounded in the truth, in the word, and understanding the word and the promises in all the things. It's very hard to truly process through healing that is sustained without having that footing, that grounding in God. It was when I became true and standing on a true foundation that my healing truly manifested. And now, if I go through traumas, because we're still going to go through cycles of trauma, we're still going to face some things, I have better understanding. And because I am rooted and grounded in the word, I can process through that healing in a more effective way, in a more efficient way. But that takes time. So, as I close out on this evening, women, continue your healing journey. This is Women's History Month, and there's nothing better than breaking out of bondage, than being free from bondage, than walking in a true freedom and liberation from healing. So salute a woman in your life. Salute the women in your life, the women walking with you on this journey. Provide them the supports they need. Be that listening ear for them. Be able to create those safe spaces for them to talk through and heal through and process through everything they need to so that they can walk whole and healed. Hello? That is our job as women, to support other women. So I'm grateful for the space that God ordained for tonight at Grace Church MGM with God's Girls with Gifts, led by Chief Apostle Dr. Sybil Sloan. It was absolutely amazing. It set us up for healing from the inside out. And we all will be better for it as we continue our journey. Thank y'all for sticking out with me through this day where I'm doing this from a different device. I didn't have any of the things to drop my quotes into the chat for you. I'll go back on the back end and drop them in. I really could not tell who was on here because I'm on a device that I really never use. So thanks for joining in. If you joined in live, thanks for listening. If you came back on the replay, enjoy your Saturday night. Rest well and go to church tomorrow some way, somehow, via virtual or physical, and continue to feed your spirit so that our healing can continue to manifest from the inside out. Many, many blessings to each of you and Godspeed.